Welcome to the CU Scoop. I'm your host, Phillip Dukes, aka Dukes D Scoop. Check me out on Twitter and Instagram at Dukes D Scoop. And please be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. If you have not become a member yet, please go look in the description for the video, find the link to become a member. Every bit of support is welcome and we appreciate it. All right, let's get down to business. All right, so Coach Prime speaks. That's right. Coach Prime speaks on Twitter. If you know if what's been going on lately with Coach Prime, there's a national report that came out yesterday, basically saying, you know, he's has an unspecified illness. USA Today, ESPN both said it. Um, it said that he's canceled a speaking engagement June 8th, and they made a big deal out of it, right? And I'm not gonna say it's a small deal; it could be a huge deal. But I know who ain't making it a big deal: Coach Prime. So in the Asante Samuel interview that happened a couple weeks ago, uh, Coach Prime, you know he had been at his ranch in Canton, Texas, and then he said he had been dealing with something, quote unquote, that was on a whole nother level. And then this is what he told Asante. He said, "Honestly, I have done no media. I've done nothing for a minute." He said, "So coming on with you is something so coming on with you is something. I ain't been in front of nobody for a minute. I've lost 14 pounds. I am coming back, but I needed this exchange because I haven't had the energy." Okay, cool. Then Bucky, Deion Sanders Jr., my partner, Osakin, what's happening? He said on his live stream, he said, he'll tell y'all soon enough what he's going through, what he went through. Okay, cool. So yesterday was crazy. All the speculation, you know, people wondering what's really going on with him. People nationally, you know, basically kind of just hinting at certain things and saying certain stuff they got I know for a fact that ain't true. But yeah, just a lot going on. So Coach Prime in Coach Prime fashion comes back and he clears the air. He tweeted this morning 9 o'clock on the dot Eastern time. "Wow, I am truly blessed for the abundance of well wishes, for all the thoughts and all of the prayers. Thank you, thank you, thank you." All caps with praying hands. He says, "I can assure you all that everything is okay," caps, OKAY, "and will continue to be so. God got me like no other. I have so much more work to do to glorify God, capital G, capital G. So please believe God got me, big G. I'm excited to get back to Colorado to be at home." I like that. "I'm excited to get back to Colorado to be at home with my staff, team, and all associated to our program. When we arrive back to Boulder, you will be updated on everything. Until then, all caps, I'm coming, baby. Hashtag Coach Prime." All right, so he said a lot. One thing I noticed, he said, now, people say he's at home in Canton, Texas. He's at home at Country Prime. He said when we get home to Boulder. That said a ton. One thing I do know about Coach Prime, he loves the game. It's God, then the game. Matter of fact, all right, Coach, I'm gonna share a little bit. About 2 months ago, I talked to Coach Prime. A very personal conversation between the both of us. And he said, and to give me some game, he said he ranked his priorities. He said it's God, the game, my family. God, my family, the game. God first, always. Top three things in his life: God, his family, and the game. Right? In love with the game. Loves the game. So for him to say home is in Boulder, that's really what he means. And he also did that for the Colorado fans. He also let them know ain't no funny business going on. No, he's not looking for a job. No, he's not looking to quit. No, he's not looking to retire. None of that. Boulder is home. But Boulder can only be home for him because he's in love with the game. I'm going to come back to that statement he made to me about loving the game. All right, so we can okay, cool. But right after he makes this announcement to let everybody know that he's okay, he comes back with another tweet and says, "Stop responding to fools and foolishness. You only propel them to be who they are. Walk above the nonsense of life and be unapologetically you. Everyone don't want you to succeed and everyone don't want to see you win. Believe that. Stay positive and stay in your purpose." So even going through what he's going through, he's still making sure that he knows that he's still making sure that he's giving the game and giving the messages out, inspiring people to be great. Now, through this whole ordeal, we didn't miss many Coach Prime messages. And I think that speaks volumes because no matter what he's going through, he made sure that he was selfless enough to still give us game because he knows that people, I know plenty of people. And if you're watching this, you could drop it in the comments. How many of y'all look forward to seeing the inspirational post that he makes on his Twitter? Drop it in the comments. If you one of those people, say inspiration, pound sign prime, pound sign inspiration, pound prime inspiration. But if you look forward to those, then you know how important those are to some people. And so for him to be selfless enough to maybe not be feeling his best, but still keep that going, still making the Instagram post, and you can tell when Bucky posts one versus when he posted. Well, Bucky posts one, he's going to let you know that it's him. When Prime posts on Twitter, he lets you know that it's him. You're going to see that Coach Prime, that hashtag, you know it's him. So that's one thing that I thought that was huge. To let people know, one, through the tweet that Boulder is home, and two, for him to even be able to go back and double back on the tweet and say, hey, y'all stay in y'all purpose and y'all stay focused. But this is one thing that I think people don't realize about those Coach Prime inspirational tweets. He's also talking to himself. He's also reminding himself. See, when people preach and when people allow themselves, they share so much of themselves, they also share with themselves. What you mean, Dukes? You ain't never heard a preacher preach a sermon that he said, "I'm talking to me too"? Coach Prime does that a lot when he puts out these inspirational posts because he's a man too. He's a human. As much as, people try to dehumanize him, he's still a man. He's still a human. Let's talk about something. What can we draw away from this experience with Coach Prime? What can we gain from it? Let's go all the way to the draft and everything leading up to the draft. So when I did talk to Coach Prime last, we kind of recapped the draft, right? And he told me some things, and we talked about it, how his true feelings, and he let some of that go to Asante. He let people know that as well. But for some on his inner circle, you know that there was a toll that was taken on Coach Prime. One, because and this is the human part of Coach Prime. I think a lot of people don't get to see. And I think that he shared some too with Asante for sure. Shout out to Asante, great interview. But the human side is the father in Coach Prime that was rendered helpless when the injustice was done to his child. And people can say what they want to say, what he just dropped and it wasn't an injustice. Like, bro, if Shedeur Sanders was a 5th round pick, I'm a 5th round pick. Today at 42 years, 5th round pick. Hell, in my prime, still, whenever. If Shedeur is a 5th round pick, I'm a 5th round pick. Come on, bro. No way possible, right? But there was a time where he was rendered helpless because it didn't matter about the injustice that was going on. It didn't matter about his son being treated unfairly. And they say he fell in the draft, and then a lot of people in the comments come in and say he got pushed in the draft. But he had to question, was his presence the reason? And some of that is true. It was some teams out there that didn't want what was coming along with Shedeur because they feared for their own jobs, because the hottest name in the job market last year was Coach Prime. ESPN ran some on Coach Prime going to the Cowboys. I mean, you would have thought that I mean, good gracious. There was a story on Coach Prime coaching all last year. You don't think people watch ESPN? I had somebody in the front office call me. This the God honest truth. I had somebody from a front office call me and ask me, what you think Coach gonna do? I need to know if I need to be looking. As a front office guy, straight up. So with that being said, the human side, you question yourself, did I do the right thing? Have I done too much? And that's hard, because in today's community, in the new football landscape, since when is having an involved black father baggage? How does that, like, you go back to the Ball brothers. We're looking at the successes of the Ball brothers, but the big LeVar Ball, it was like, oh man, who wants to deal with that? An involved black father. And guess what? They shoved the microphone in his face, and they made sure that he spoke. They made sure that he talked. And he never shied away from being the strong, bold father that he chose and that God chose him to be. His boys are doing great. So Coach Prime, so that's the craziest part about it. To be labeled as baggage for doing a phenomenal job. That's crazy. But that's something that Coach Prime had to deal with for both of his boys. The next side of the human part of it. He ain't just got one child. Coach Prime got 5 kids. And they all do their own thing. Got a grandbaby now. The stress doesn't leave just because of Shedeur. He's a parent. He's a daddy. You know what I'm saying? Through and through. Who do you think Bucky got to go talk to when he going through something? Man, Bucky got a $1 million operation going in the media. Okay, so I got one kid, $1 million media operation. I got another kid, playing college basketball. I got another kid that's also, look, Shiloh. You know what I'm saying? Some of that man came, and a lot of people, and they was taking shots at Shiloh. They had a whole smear campaign on this man. Oh man, I ain't never seen nobody in the draft get like they low lights posted. Something else he had to deal with. So shoot, you got a baby girl, what I'm saying, with her first child, and y'all know how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Having to be there for people, your children. So he had a lot going on outside of Shedeur. That's enough for any man to take on a lot. You feel me? Or to feel overwhelmed. Not even to mention the 100 ball players that look up to him in Colorado, and the hundreds of people or the media members like myself that he's taken into, to say, hey, I'm a mentor of you. So he had all of this going on, right? And then the crown jewel piece was the straw, so to speak, that broke the camel's, and the camel's back ain't broken, but just saying, like, then y'all go hit my boy for 20 M's? A real live hit? Golly. So during our conversation, he goes back and he says, this is an earlier conversation, not the last one, but this is me talking. So Coach Prime himself told me the first part of his life is God. Straight up. That's what he told me. Okay, cool. Then you got family and the game. And those two are interchangeable because his family is in the game. 3 most important things in his life: God, the game, family. Only thing in order is God. God, his family, the game. Those 3 things. Think about this. 2 out of the 3 things are the most important things in your life you got no control over. Because the game that you've given so much to, that you love, turns its back on you and people in the game turn their back on you, turn their back on your child, because because there's some underlying issues with you. So now you're confused about the game and the people and some of the people that you've let in your circle. People that you let around you took that as a time to go throw pot shots at your kids. People that you invited into the program, that you invited around you because of the game, because of the love of the game. So now family and the game are intertwined. So 2 out of the 3 things that are most important to you, you don't have any control over. Okay, cool. So what's the constant there? God. That man told me straight up out of his own mouth. He said, God was telling me to let go. Okay, cool. Believe. Faith has to activate. And that's what he's done. So whatever health issue that he has going on, we're going to continue to pray for him. But you better believe Coach Prime is going to get the God out of this. He's going to figure out the message out of this. He's going to come back reinvigorated. He's going to come back stronger than ever because the mission isn't complete. The day the mission is complete, you'll see Coach Prime move on, but he knows the mission ain't complete and that he will be rewarded strength to complete the mission. So as we talk about, we understand and it's rough, and I know people are concerned about him. Continue to pray for him. I knew something was up. I talked to Coach probably, and I'll close out with this. I talk to Coach Prime probably every personal conversation probably every 6 to 8 weeks. And if it ain't that, I'm gonna see him or something. But I'll say every 6 to 8 weeks, we're gonna have a conversation, a check-in. Coach gonna ask me what's going on with me, what you got going, what how can I help you? How can I help you, Dukes? True story. So I get a job offer, right? And it's a job offer that I knew that he would want to advise me on. Because during our conversations, he's letting me know, hey, look, this is what you need to do. Do this, do this, do this, do this. Gave me a whole game plan. And I'm hitting it. You can see the success of my channel early on. It happened the way he said it would. Cool. But I ain't get a response. And, so I hit the old line, I hit the bat line. No response. So I'm up. Cool. And I know it's something he would want to talk to me about. So I hit my man, right? My man. So there's another guy that I hit that I called, and I was like, hey, bro, you talk to Coach? He said, nah. He said, man, I thought it was just me. I ain't talked to him either. And we both sat down, we talked for a minute, and we knew, because he said, man, if you ain't talked to him, and I ain't talked to him, and this person ain't talked to him, something up. But we talked to people around that have let us know that everything was cool. When last time I did talk to Coach, he said sometimes you got to get quiet. And that's exactly what he's done. He's gotten quiet. And I know and just like in the Bible, there's a calm before every storm. The calm that you're seeing right now is Coach Prime getting ready. It's Coach Prime taking care of himself. It's Coach Prime doing his maintenance. It's Coach Prime taking care of Coach Prime. Coach Prime building up his faith. Coach Prime talking to God even more so than he ever has. It's Coach Prime downloading the rest of the mission. But you better believe you're going to see Coach Prime like you ain't never seen him before when this ordeal is passed. And we on the backside of it. I know that. So for all those concerned about Coach, man, keep sending prayers, and keep sending positive energy. But don't worry, because if the man said he coming back, I know one thing he can do. Man, there's one thing he ain't going to do. You can call him whatever you want to call him. You can't call him a liar. Man ain't lying. He on the way back. All right, that's my time, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. See y'all in a minute.